Hello designers, have you seen the pattern drafting tutorial of this two bustier dress with a detachable yoke? Welcome back again to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome to Bimsy Styling YouTube channel. And if you are a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you for always sticking to my channel. So today's tutorial is the sewing part of this two bustier dress with a detachable cape. It's a detailed tutorial and very easy to follow, and it is also beginners friendly. So if you are yet to see the pattern drafting tutorial, the link will be in the description box below. So guys, keep watching and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment and also subscribe to my channel. So we are going right into the tutorial. So right here, I have my patterns already transferred to fabric, and this is exactly what we have. This is what the front looks like. I went ahead to attach my wording, that's the soft wording, and I also used ST. So I interfaced my Mikado fabric with ST and also attached my soft wording for the front part of this tube dress. So this is what the front looks like. So right now I would go ahead and pin the fabric together, and usually when I do this I start from the underbust. So the essence of pinning your fabrics together is so that your points which you have on the pattern will align. So I started from the underbust. You can see that part. I pinned the underbust first, and then I also pinned the hem of the fabric. So the next part which I'll be placing together is my bust point. So I place the bust point on the center front fabric and also on the side front, and then I pin it together carefully. Next, I will align the other parts together. So you need to do this, especially if you are a beginner, so that your curves can align, so that you don't end up having one part of the curve longer than the other part. The center front won't be longer than the side front, and the side front also won't be longer than the center front. So this is the essence why you need to pin all of these points together. So it's not just about the pattern drafting. You also need to ensure that this point matches up together when you are aligning the fabrics together. So this is exactly what I did here. You can see my pins there. So I did the same thing on the other side, and after doing this I'll go right now to the sewing machine and sew on all the parts which I pinned using my half-inch seam allowance which I added when transferring my pattern to fabric. So right now, before going ahead to sew down the bust area which I earlier pinned, I would also be attaching the back to the front. So I'll take out my pattern paper, and here is my back pattern. So I'll align the side back and the side front together. So this is exactly what I'm doing there. I'm aligning both the front and the back together, and then I'll go ahead and pin them together as well. So ensure that all your points are matching up. That's the waist, the armhole are matching up together. So go ahead and pin the front and the back. So I repeated the same thing on the other side, and you can see me aligning the other side of the fabric, and this is what we have after pinning all the points together. You can see the back. So after pinning, I'll take it to the sewing machine, and then I'll sew all the parts we pinned together. I'll sew them using the same allowance that we added when transferring to fabric. So this is exactly what I have here. You can see that I have gone ahead to sew it together, and I also gave it a very good press, and that is why you see the seam opened up. So ensure that you also press yours properly. So here with me I have the strip which will be attached to this dress. So how did I get the strip? This strip is measuring about 1.25 inches in width. So for the length for the front part, remember that from the shoulder to the over bust line was 6.5 inches. You can refer back to the pattern drafting. We used 6.5 inches to determine the over bust. So, and then for the back, we actually came down from the armhole to the center back. So all I did was to add my shoulder to over bust 6.5 inches plus the value I have from the shoulder to the armhole for the back. So for the back, from the shoulder to the armhole was about 8.5 inches. So I added the 8.5 inches plus my front shoulder to over bust, which is 6.5 inches. And I had a total of 15 inches. So the strip is about 15 inches long and 1.25 inches in width. So I went ahead to have the seam allowance for joining the strip to the bodies of the dress. So this is me placing the strip in between the lining and the main fabric. So I went ahead to place my strip there, and then I'll carefully pin down the neck part of this tube. So all I am doing here is pinning down. I attached my strip, and then I'll go ahead to pin down the neckline carefully as well. So make good use of your pins when you are working on designs like this or any other design. It's always important you make good use of your pins so that you have a very good result at the end of the day. So right now, after pinning together, I'll go ahead and sew, starting from the center back. I'll sew on 1/2 inch into the armhole, then to the front part, and then to the armhole again, and then to the other part of the back. So here is what I have after doing that and giving it a very good press. You can see the bustier is looking very good already, even without wearing it. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to join the bodies to the skirt part of this dress. So right now, I already went ahead to draft my skirt. I expect that you all know how to draft a basic straight skirt, which was what I used for this dress. So if you don't know how to draft a basic straight skirt, I have a tutorial here on my channel where I actually showed how you can draft a skirt. So I'll drop the link also in the description box below for those who might not know how to draft a basic skirt. So I used that same pattern. So all I'm doing right now is to align my bodies together with the skirt part, and I started from the side. So I started from the side, and I will align them together using my pins to secure both the bodies and the skirt together. After doing this, I'll take it to the sewing machine and sew on 1/2 inch seam allowance, which was what I added to both the bodies and the skirt when transferring to fabric. So I'll be sewing on 1/2 inch. And after joining the bodies and the skirt part together, I'll go ahead to attach my zipper to the center back and also close up the center back, and then the dress is ready. So next, I'll be working on the detachable yoke, and right here on the table I have my basic bodice pattern, and this basic bodice pattern is a dartless pattern, so it doesn't have any form of dart, whether the waist dart or the bust dart. And here I have the front, and this is the chest line and also the half length for the front. So on the side front from the chest line, I'll come down by 1.25 inches, and then I'll go ahead and mark that. And on the center front, on the chest line as well, I will go up by 2.5 inches, and then I will mark that. Now I'm making use of 2.5 inches all because I don't want my bust area exposed. Now, if you want yours the exact way we have it on the thumbnail, all you need to do is to go up by at least 4 inches. That is on the center front, starting from the chest line. Go up by 4 inches or 4.5 inches, and then you connect from the 4 inches or the 4.5 inches, you connect it right into the side front. Just the same way I'm connecting from the 2.5 inches, which I went up at the center front from the chest line, just the way I'm connecting the 2 points together like so. All you need to do is to also connect from the 4 inches or the 4.5 inches that you make use of, and then you connect from that point into the side front as well. And so I'll go ahead to highlight the other parts of this detachable yoke. So this is exactly what we need for the front of this detachable yoke. Now for the back pattern, I also have here on the table a dartless bodice, and so I'll be making use of this pattern also for the back. So I want you to note that I already did my back tightening, and I took out 0.75 at that point on the waistline for the back and connected it to the neck. So you need to do this because of course this detachable yoke will be attaching our zipper. So the next thing I'll be doing is from the chest line at the center back, I'll come down by 4 inches, and then I'll mark that. And on the side back, remember that for the side front we came down by 2.5, so I would repeat the same thing for the side back. From the chest line, I'd also come down by 2.5 inches, and then I will mark. So I'll connect from the 2.5 inches at the side back, I'll connect it with my straight ruler to the 4 inches that we came down at the center back. So I'll do this right now. Now for the back neckline, I came down by 1 inch for the neck depth, and then for the neck width, I made use of 3 inches, which is the basic neckline. For the front, I made use of 3 inches by 3 inches for the width and also for the depth, which is also the basic neckline. So I'll go ahead and connect like so. Now I'll go ahead and cut out the patterns for both the back and the front. So this is exactly what we have for the back, and I also do the same for the front. You can see the part which I am cutting out right now. So this is it, and here is my Mikado fabric for the detachable yoke, and I also have the lining for the yoke. So right here, I have the patterns transferred to fabric, and for the seam allowance, on the side, I added 1 inch. On the center back for the zipper, I added 1 inch. On the neck, half inch. On the shoulder, half inch. On the hem, I added half inch. For the front, I also added 1 inch to the side front, and on the hem, this part which I am cutting, I added half inch to that part, and then for the neck, I added half inch as well to that part of the neck, and then for the shoulder I added half inch. Now note that on the armhole I did not add any extra allowance. No allowance was added to the armhole because this detachable yoke is actually having a puff sleeve, so I need the sleeve to sit well on the shoulder. Hence, this is the reason why no allowance was added to the armhole. I hope you understand this. So next, I'll go ahead now to check what I have on the armhole. I'm going to start from the shoulder slope on the pattern. I'm going to start from the shoulder slope on the pattern, and I'm also going to end it right there before the sewing allowance on the side. So here I have about 10.5 inches on the armhole. So I have 10.5 inches on the armhole for the front and also for the back. So we need these measurements for the sleeve of this detachable yoke. So for the sleeve, I folded my fabric into two first. I folded it into two, and then next I would further fold again into two. Now on a triangle shape, that is how I folded it. You can see that. Now to get the radius of the sleeve, I'll be using the freehand method, that's the sharp method. So I'll measure what I have on the armhole, 10.5. I will measure it, and then at the point where I have the 10.5, I will take my chalk and then I will mark it like so. So you can use this method as well, or you also determine the radius by dividing your circumference by 3.14. So starting from the line which we earlier marked, I came down by 1 inch, and the value which I have there, that's 1 inch below that line, I have 15 inches. So I'll take this 15 inches round to get the radius of the sleeve. So the reason for doing this is so that we can have the excess that we need for the puff of this sleeve. We need an excess there, so this is why I came down by 1 inch. If I maintain the mark that we earlier had there, we wouldn't have any form of excess, and that is just the exact value for the armhole. So we need the excess so that we can pleat the sleeve. So that was why I came down by 1 inch. Now from that 1 inch we came down, I would go ahead and determine the sleeve length. So I'll measure whatever I want as the sleeve length. I will determine it at this point. And once that is done, I would go ahead and place my tape rule at the tip of the folded fabric. I'll place it like so. And wherever I marked earlier as the sleeve length, I'll go ahead and chalk it round. So this is what I am doing at this point. So the value I earlier marked, I was not comfortable with it because it will not give me that fullness which I wanted. So I went ahead, I marked it, I chalked it first, but later on I altered it. So I'll show you exactly what I used at the end of the day. So right now, I was not satisfied with the length I initially marked, so I went ahead to increase my length. And at the end of the day, the sleeve length which I worked with was about 17 to 18 inches long. So this is exactly what I used at the end of the day. So because I was actually trying to manage the fabric initially, that was why I made use of that initial length. But at the end of the day, when I increased it to 17 inches long, I had to add an extra fabric to what I have there. So this is exactly what I am doing at this point. So I'll just pin down that extra fabric which I added to that part. So I'll pin it down, and then I'll continue taking my measurements all around. So I'll continue taking my measurement just the way you are seeing it right there. So right now I'm done taking the measurement, so I'll cut out exactly what I have right there. So I'll cut out from the sleeve length, I'll cut it out like so, following through what I marked. So I'll cut out like so, and then I'll cut out the radius of the sleeve as well. So this is exactly what I have at the end of the day. This is our sleeve for the detachable yoke. So guys, if you have gotten value watching today's tutorial, do well to hit on the like button, share with your friends, and also subscribe to this channel. Guys, it is important that you hit on the like button so that YouTube can continue to recommend this video to as many people that will need this tutorial. Thank you all for watching today's tutorial. I will see you all in the next tutorial. Bye.